Having never done a hardscape project before, I had to do a lot of planning, a lot of research, and a lot of reading. I looked at a lot of articles online and a lot of YouTube videos on this. I found a couple of YouTube authors in particular that really helped me a lot and used their materials really to give me a basis to go off of. I was originally going to use rock panels, which would save a lot of digging for this project, but I found as I got into it and got to digging with the rock and the clay and the roots that I ran into, there was just no way for me to get the ground level enough under rock panels to use them. I would have had to dig deeper and put in some kind of gravel to level it up and then put rock panels. And by the time I did that, I just decided I was going to go ahead and just dig it out and go ahead and use gravel outright. I drew up initially a site plan just by hand, just to give you an idea of what I was going to do. And we had this hand-stacked rock wall, kind of retaining wall that was there. Never really liked it. And as I went along, I expanded the original site plan twice, at least, to get the fire pit about 10 feet away from the house for safety and to have enough room around the fire pit for seating. So I realized I was going to have to get rid of that rock wall. And also, because of the elevation of the slope of the ground, I was really going to have to go and do a retaining wall, which I'd never done either, and which required more planning and research. So I ended up doing a lot of work in Sketchup. I'm familiar with using Sketchup, and I was able to do a lot of planning, drawing things out to scale. That helped me tremendously because I could actually draw things out and mess with them in 3D before actually putting them in the ground or putting anything in the ground, so to speak. So I could get the patio down to the smallest detail the way I felt I wanted it to be, including how I was going to lay out my pavers, how I was going to do the fire pit, how I was going to cut the stones for the fire pit to get it the size I wanted. And then when I went back and did an addition to the original patio, I sketched that out as well, which gave me a good idea of how it was going to look. I can't stress enough that in trying to do a project like this, unless you already know what you're doing, which I didn't, it really is good to do your homework, do your research, and to spend some time planning on this, because it saves a lot of grief if you have a good plan down before you go actually messing with the actual materials. It can save a lot of wasted time and wasted money and materials.